Who's holding it up and why?
Personally, I would like to see the Ryan Garcia and Devin just because of the amateur history, you know what I'm saying? And you guys knowing them throughout the years just for entertainment purposes. If I was thinking about legacy, I would love to see the swordsmanship between Shakur and Devin. I think that Devin does have the superior boxing skill when it pertains to Tank. So I personally am not so fond upon that fight. I voiced it numerous times myself. But I do think that there are. I mean, I would love to see. I would rather see Frank Martin versus Devin Haney before I would see Tank versus Devin. And that's just coming from Fight Boxing Gym. You know what I'm saying? Not even Mill City. That's just me. So Tank is probably
can I ask you?
on my thing.
Can I ask you? So that was a two-part question. So who's holding it up and why?
What'd you say again? I apologize.
Who's holding up the biggest fight in boxing?
And why?
I mean, it would have to be the promoter at the end of the day, I believe, right?
Okay, let me ask you, Mill City. What's the biggest fight in boxing that people want to see?
Biggest fight in boxing.
That people want to see, and if it's being held up, who's holding it up and why?
I like what Lorenzo said. The biggest fight in boxing for me, though, at the 40 division would be Haney and Tank. I do like Haney and Teal as well because as a boxing fan and the purist, people believe the size and the matchup is just amazing. It's fireworks. Who's holding up I do believe that the handlers are holding up the fight.
Yeah.
I do believe that.
Okay, so in particularly, can you put a name on that, please, so we don't say the handlers?
Okay.
Can you start it over? Can you start over the? See, wait.
It would be Tank. It would be Tank if it was it.
Can you answer Mill City one time and then answer it?
All right. Your one of your
Well, let me ask you the question. Let me ask you the question again.
I heard it.
Okay. No, let me ask you, Mill City. So Mill City, just for you, Mill City, is what is the biggest fight in boxing that the people want to see that can happen, that's not happening? Why is it being held up?
Because Canelo don't want to take the fight.
I mean, yeah, I'm on a toss up with two fights too, Coach. Like that Canelo and Benavidez fight. That's something that I really need to see.
Okay, so who's holding up that fight and why?
Definitely. I would have to say Canelo's people's those handlers and the way that they're trying to.
Why?
Dangerous fight.
Okay, so now let's move on to the next fight.
I knew
now,
you was doing
what's
this.
the next fight? What's the next fight?
Haney and Tank.
Wait, excuse me, sir. Wait, okay, just 1 second, okay, because I'm gonna talk to both of y'all. I'm gonna talk to you. Okay, so Mill City, what's the next fight that you would like to see, that you know the people would like to see, that can happen, that hasn't happened? Why? I want to know which fight it is, why isn't it happening, and who's holding it up?
From there, I think I said this already, but I don't know why you want me to keep saying this. I said that
because you want to loop it.
Yeah, you want to loop it? Because I'm saying that when it comes to
I just asked you a question.
Tank's Peoples, because Tank's Peoples makes his decision. They are advising Tank, right? And Tank is
look,
you know taking the advice.
Okay, so I can ask the question to you again so you can answer it, or is my man? Matter of fact, look, let me finish talking to him and then I'm gonna talk to you. Go ahead, my man. What else you want, my guy, on the phone?
Fight Boxing Gym.
Fight Boxing Gym. Talk to me, baby. Because that's the thing with talking to two people. You know what I'm saying? So I'm giving you respect and I'm talking to you, right? And that's why I was saying the same thing with him and Punch. But let me just talk to you, Fight Boxing. Talk to me. So before we get off.
You have a question for me?
No. Good to talk to you, brother. Nice talking to you, okay?
Appreciate you, Lorenzo.
Likewise. All right, so in regards to...
No, I'll talk to you later, bro. Let me and him chop it up.
Appreciate
we'll talk later, bro. Peace.
We'll chop it up. Appreciate you. Talk to me, Bill.
Okay, so Mr. Mill City Boxing, live on Mill City Boxing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Can I
I'd
get this
like to
super
ask
chat
you
out
a
the way?
question.
Can I get Punch's super chat out the way?
Wait, hold on. Live on Mill City Boxing, I'd like to ask Mill City a question because you covering this boxing like a blanket, right?
Mm-hmm.
One of the biggest fights that you said that the people want to see that they're not getting a chance to see is Canelo and Benavidez. So I would like to know the second biggest fight that the people want to see that they aren't getting a chance to see, isn't happening, and why isn't it happening?
Here we go. So the second fight that I want to see, it's definitely um, more watching Haney more and more and more. I want to see Haney and Tank. I definitely want to see Haney and Tank, and I also Tio and Tank. There's a lot of great fights actually. Tio and Tank, to me, to be real, I
Okay,
like that fight
okay,
more as a fight fan.
so listen,
Do
let's
I think
start.
is
Let's
that as
start.
big? Is that
No,
as
no,
big
let's.
as Haney?
Okay,
No.
okay. So let's start the question over. Live on Mill City Boxing, you have Bill Haney asking Mill City a question.
Mm-hmm.
Mill City says that the the two biggest fights that come to mind that the people want to see. Now, this is a tough question, Mill City. You said that Canelo and Benavidez is the fight. You also said that Canelo is what's holding that fight up. Can you tell the people what the second biggest fight is that everybody wants to see and why that fight isn't happening and who's holding it up, Mill City, without adding any other fighters but those two fighters?
Yeah, that you're right. That is a tough question. That is a tough question because I know you want to hear Haney and Tank because
If it's not Haney and Tank, who is it?
because you're asking me or what the people want. Because the people want, I ain't gonna hold you. The people definitely want Haney and Tank. That's for
Okay,
sure.
so why isn't that fight happening between Haney and Tank?
I think that you know, timing, the people that are handling the situation for Tank. I think that he runs the show. I think that he's gonna dictate when that fight happens. And yeah, it's
So
just I,
you don't.
I feel like
Okay,
he's running.
so you don't think that him. So now you're saying it's not the handlers. You think it's actually Tank that doesn't want to make the fight
No, I,
happen
I
with
didn't
that
say that.
number.
I said the handlers, because they're
So
advising Tank, and he's taking that advice.
so you're saying the Tank's handlers are advising him not to take the fight, and he's taking the handler's advice to not take the fight. Correct?
Yeah, because they have plans. They
Oh,
have
because they have
plans
plans.
for his career.
Okay,
Yeah, just like
right.
anybody else that's
But
handling
that but
one.
those plans aren't satisfying the people that you just said want to see the fight. Then.
There is a holdback. There is a pushback.
So it is a pushback. So it's a pushback from what the fans want to see, right? And they're pushing so what are they pushing? Who wants to see what they're pushing?
Yeah, the thing about with this situation, and Bill, we both
No,
know
but I'm
that
saying is who wants to
business.
see what they're okay, who wants to see what they're pushing?
What do you mean by that?
Well, you said that it was a holdback. What is the holdback?
The holdback is that they are choreographing Tank
Okay,
Davis's
choreographed.
career,
Okay.
right?
Okay,
They're
so
figuring
Tank,
out who
so
they're gonna
thank you.
come next
Live
with.
on Mill City Boxing, we now have come to the agreement. We understand that Tank's career is being choreographed. And Mill City has confirmed it. I always said that it was. I agree with you that it's
Your fight,
choreographed and
yours
manufactured.
was too.